right, good evening, dear friends, and good evening, all the viewers. Very, very good evening to everyone. Guys, yeah, this is a very, very different occasion for me, in fact, and I'm feeling a little sense of what you can say, a lot of pride at the same time, a lot of sense of satisfaction when I'm doing this event right now. Okay. As a matter of fact, I just changed my clothing. I was going to wear a white shirt with the sleeves fold, and Yash would be wearing the same. So perhaps we look exactly the same people sitting in the same room or mirror effect. But I just decided to change it slightly. And guys, the reason why I'm feeling so matter of pride or such a matter of great pleasure is कि आज मेरे साथ और आज मैं जो एक इवेंट करने जा रहा हूँ वो एक अलग अनोखा आनंद होता है फॉर एनी फैकल्टी एनी टीचर एक्चुअली. And so I have with me Yash Singh. He is the student of our first batch of the Global Family Managed Business Program. There are a lot of reasons why Yash is a special student, you can say. In fact, ये वो batch है जब हमने कोर्स चालू किया था तो we did not have a campus, we did not have an office, we did not have a place to meet. At that point of time, Yash and a lot of his friends who wanted to be a part of the first batch, हम लोग यहाँ पे different cafes and coffee shops में मिलते थे. And since then, it has been an amazing bond and an amazing journey. And you can say that I have been a witness to Yash's progress. Obviously, this is not a forum where I'll be speaking a lot. Obviously, अपनी आदत से खराब होते हैं हम लोग ज़्यादा ही बोलते हैं. But I'm going to ask Yash to do most of the speaking. For my part, my job is to tell you that who Yash is and why this bond. इसलिए मैंने आप खास ये introduction दिया. Okay. So Yash is the director. I would not use the word owner by all means. He's the director at Greycast Foundry, जो उनका family business है. Okay, started by Girish Bhai, his father, and his educational qualification. He's done his undergrad in mass communication from Mumbai, and then he has done a couple of extraordinary projects when he was doing his mass communication as well. उसके बाद I understand he has also undergone a special training for foundry industry, क्योंकि बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग कॉम्बिनेशन है. जब मास जर्नलिज्म है तो भाई साहब मार्केट में जाते हैं या एसी कैबिन में बैठते हैं और फिर अपना रिसर्च रिपोर्ट वगैरह लिखते हैं. दोनों में से कोई भी एक टास्क आता है. एंड देन दे डू एक्टिविटीज विच आर इन सोशल इंटरेस्ट. विच यू हैव ए फाउंड्री इंडस्ट्री. 1200-1500 डिग्री की भट्टी होती है, वहां पे लोग काम करते हैं. स्वेट इज अ नेक्स्ट नेचर थिंग. एंड वहां पे जब लोगों को एक्सेप्ट करके काम करना होता है, दीज आर टू डिफरेंट ट्रांसफर्स. एंड इसमें साथ में काम करना, ऑब्वियसली देयर इज अ डिफरेंट स्किल सेट एंड नॉलेज रिक्वायर्ड. So Yash has undergone that transition. Yash has undergone that learning also. So what I'm going to do is that now I am going to be the least speaking person. Barabar, Yash? So you're going to be doing the most of the talking. But before we get on, guys, so Yash, it's sincere appreciation that you are here. And God bless you being here, beta. It's a matter of great pleasure, actually, and a matter of pride as well for us. So that's great to have you here. Okay? Let's begin. My first set of question is that yes, your camera is turned off, beta. Huh.
Yeah.
My first set of question is yes. I want you to tell us. Let's understand. This whole purpose is to identify the impact of education on you, your family, and your family business. And the reason why we want to bring this out is to make people understand that there are methods by which you can approach the trial and error method, which is fair. I mean, your parent, my fathers, everybody grew like that. They did trial and error. But आप लोग एक structured तरीके से सीखे और फिर उसको apply किए. So, okay, tell me your journey about your transition from the journalism to getting into the foundry business. Over to you, beta.
Thank you. Firstly, thank you so much for having me, Dalal sir. This is actually a very great introduction which you have given me. And it's very difficult to imagine that we both will be in the same frame and I would be speaking more. So that's something very difficult for me to digest right now. But yeah, since you have spoken about my journey before, throughout, and after the Global FMB program, I'll just like to tell the audiences who are not aware of who I am, of what I do and how the journey has been throughout. So, like Sir said, we had a family managed business. In fact, I was a third generation foundry person by the name of Greycast Founders. My father had set up this unit. And when I was a part of SP Gen, I was planning to do something using investment casting, which was a very foreign technology. It was done in a very rudimentary way in a few parts of India, but by itself, the technology is very sophisticated. So me coming from a very polarized background from journalism, taking this step and trying to set up my own investment casting unit in 2013, 2014, that's where SPGen actually helped me quite a bit. I'll just tell you how the journey became after SPGen. After SPGen, I started this unit for making orthopedic implants. So it was not only that I had to study about the engineering side of it, the metallurgy side of it, I also had to study about the biology side of it, how metals react with your entire body, with the entire diseases which your body fights with. So it was a very heavy learning experiences, and this 7 day in SPGen and 3 weeks at your work, or maybe using that time to learn something else, really helped. After that, in 2016, I was able to file a patent. I was actually, we have now founded, me and my wife, we have founded another company, which is an offshoot of our foundry business, wherein we have filed a patent for manufacturing a certain titanium alloy. So this is actually an import substitute for oil and gas sector, a very niche market. They use a very hazardous and expensive alloy called beryllium, which is imported into India, completely 100% imported, which is a hazardous thing for the user and is also very expensive. So in last 1 or 2 years since we founded this new division of a foundry industry called Grey Safety Tools Private Limited, in fact, we have been able to take more than 70% of the all the tenders of all the refineries, you name it, Indian Oil, Bharat Petroleum, HPCL, for the non-sparking tools, which has been. And this has been the fastest growth. Even the refineries which we interact with, they tell us. In fact, just as a reminder, as we were sitting in the lockdown, we were able to onboard 12 more distributors into this so-called startup, as we say, right from your different parts of India to Middle East to Northern America to Russia. And in India specifically, we have been able to break the cartel of distributors and importers who used to rig all these pricing using different cartel schemes and monopolies in in these refineries. So this is one aspect wherein we learned in SPGen about innovation, that okay fine, you have this one product which your company is making, but what are the different offshoots of it? How can you see how you can find your own niche wherein you can set your product to be in? And throughout the way, I've been able to file two patents, one global patent. In 2018, because of my patent, I was awarded the Young Foundryman of the Year award at the 60th Indian Foundry Congress in New Delhi. Um, since last 3 years, I have been the youngest chairman of the Institute of Indian Foundrymen. In fact, it's a 95-year-old institute, and after me, the youngest person was 43 years old, and I'm the only non-engineer who is part of it. The reason why I'm saying it, like, it's not to tell about my journey, is to set a precedent for what I'm going to say next. Like Sir said, I'm not an engineer by background. Anytime anyone asks me, like, why are you into a hardcore heavy engineering industry without any technical background, my response to them is quite simple. In fact, this is what our Parimal sir had said during his classroom, which made me pivot from that point. He spoke about Dilip Shangvi, the CEO of Sun Pharma, who is the world's largest generic medicine manufacturer CEO, and he's BCom by education, and he can give any pharmacist or chemical engineer on the planet a run for his money. So this is something which this program has actually helped me understand, that you don't have to be very technical. Obviously, you need to know, and eventually you end up learning a lot more than what someone else would learn. But how do you manage people? How do you manage people who are more skilled than you? How do you manage people who are smarter than you? How do you manage? How do you hire or attract people who are more intelligent than you, working for a bigger company, maybe a MNC, wherein you yourself are not a startup which has a ridiculous valuation? You are a company which has a legacy. How do you build upon that legacy? How do you use that legacy? I see Muradian sir as one of the attendees. I'm not sure whether I'm allowed to take names or not, but I was just also reminded. He said one thing in his class that do you really have to be a pilot to run an airline company? No, right? You need to have the acumen and the vision. So this is something which I believe this program has helped me understand in the first place. And whatever my shortcomings were, it helped me obviously work on my strengths and also learn from my weaknesses.
Right.
Yeah.
Yash, that's fair. Now let's understand a little more basic. So your transition from the journalism to Foundry, in that process, how did you get transit from that to this? So what was your thing that you unlearned and what was the thing that you learned? So can you just throw some light on that?
There was definitely a lot of learning. I had actually studied management before this also, but the management which I studied was obviously, I'm not saying it was wasted. I have used it, but I cannot sit in my office trying to apply Porter's five laws of principle or any other management which I've studied off the book. Learning from similar sized companies, learning from peers. Obviously it was a part of the program as well, but there was a lot of learning happening between the peers, wherein some companies who are much bigger than you, some companies which are of your size, some companies which are smaller than you. You learn from their mistakes. So there's a lot of peer to peer learning. There's a lot of intercultural learning also, because the examples which obviously I've learned in this program were not only from Indian family businesses. They were from other family businesses also which are not Indian. Say Hyundai or Toyota by itself are also family, in essence, are family run businesses. In operations, we actually learned about Toyota, a factory which is set up in an area of 45 acres, didn't have one single inspection department. So we learn that about how different cultures, family managed businesses also inculcate the values. So there's a lot of value learning, which was the key takeaway. Apart from that, see, technical industry. See, I come from a steel background currently. Someone would come from a plastic background. Obviously, this company, this program will not tell you or teach you how to run your company, but what you learn is what you can take from the other industry which they are doing, and how you can apply using your own psyche, using your own logical reasoning into your own business. So that was the key takeaway, sir.
Okay. Yash, tell me, how did this impact, how did this is learning, how did this education impact your family dynamics? So your relationship with your father, obviously he is much more well versed in terms of this industry because of the experience, right? So how is your interaction with him better off than before, with your father, with your senior employees, etc.?
So obviously, I would be lying if I would say that this program or the family managed business program which we have at SPGen has not only shaped me in a certain way, it has also shaped me how to deal with the mentors. A lot of times decision makers are not just your fathers or uncles who are actually your mentor as a part of the program. You do not understand, but they are also your mothers, they are also your sisters, because this is in essence a family managed business. So there's a lot of emotional energy, because whenever you're starting a new project, you're talking about, you do not have any fancy investor looking at your valuation. You have your typical debt options, or banks, or your family money which is on stake, your house which is mortgage. So all these people who are not even a part of your business, day-to-day business, become a stakeholder, become your board members when you're making your own decision how to go ahead with a new project. So, like I said, in this program specifically, we do not function in vacuum. We have with us 30 to 40 other peers who we are very close to, who we interact with. We do not work in vacuum. We talk to them after class, before class. We still keep in touch with them. So we learn from their mistakes, we learn from their good things, we learn from what we should do and what we shouldn't do, simply by observing. Also, at a lot of times, with my family, I remember whenever we were starting something new. Uh, at times there was, like, a complete freedom, like, you do what you want, and at times there were a lot of resistance. had I done my previous management had I used my previous management logic into this, I would be trying to reason with them. But now I understand that it's also part of your soft skill, which is negotiation. You have to give 10 things to ask for that one thing. So there's a lot of learning on family dynamics, which I learned not only for my own business but also from the other peers who I was interacting with during the program.
Yes, when you say that you are dealing with your father, your family, you said mother also an important role in the family and that. Okay. My next question is that whenever you have gone back to the work, okay, obviously in the initial period, your employees would have not accepted you. Did they accept you immediately? Your employees?
uh, most of the time, in fact, most of the founding figures of most of the family businesses which I've seen, the employees are not MBAs who would understand that kind of transition, that this is how the transition has to be.
No, no,
These
no,
are the
no,
people.
no. Wait, wait, wait. Yes, wait.
Mhm.
My question is about your employees. So, did your employees see they have to accept you? So, I'm
Right,
sure that initially you would have gone through a little hurdle. They're accepting you, right?
right,
Your
right,
employees would have not accepted you. So,
right.
now my question is that what did you do? What did you action out that so that your employees tend to accept you and give some regards and respect to you. I would not even use the word respect or regards, but like tend to accept you. Okay, Yash Bhaiya is here. Yash Bhaiya को पूछ सकते हैं. हाँ, Yash Bhaiya के पास कुछ जानने, something like that.
Right.
So when was that stage? So I'm obviously not on day one. Day one तुम अंदर गए होंगे तो ऐसा नहीं ओ चलो चलो सेठ का बेटा आ गया यही प्रभु है हमारा, ऐसा तो नहीं हुआ होगा. It must have obviously gone through a process. Can you explain something on that process? Your employee.
I'll actually pick up from something which I've learned from this program. We have a curriculum on leadership. It's a very extensive curriculum wherein they actually talk about how you can get someone to listen to you, to understand what you're trying to say. Although the person would be, say, 15 years more experienced than you, how can you ask them to do something? There is a lot of leading by example in the first case, wherein I'm talking about the lowest of the lowest level worker, wherein I had actually we have a small foundry still in Mumbai. I'll just like to share an anecdote. After or during this program, actually, I had asked my father that you just let me handle that. Even if I make a loss, it wouldn't be a much big of a loss. Even if I do something, it won't be, but it could be a litmus test for me also to understand how to deal with workers hands on, because workers become a very big part of our industry or any manufacturing industry which is very labor intensive. So wherein I was applying all the principles which I learned from the program, but what I learned the most was leading by example. So there, the technology was the most what do you say, nascent technology which we had. It's coal-fired furnace. It's called cupola mechanism, in which the steel is in which the iron is molten. So I was actually a part of the team, and word ultimately spreads. You know, those 15 people team had actually told at my other factory that he's a person who's hands on. He'll not send an engineer to ask, or he'll not send a supervisor to ask what is the cycle time. He might इतना पागल है कि खुद जाके वो पूरा task करके बोलेगा कि this is the cycle time. So why is it going to take so much more? So these are one of the few things which I learned. Obviously, this is not something which I expected a professor would do, is spoon feed me or any of the students, but they give of examples of how other alumni, how other family managed businesses have been able to get that kind of control, or maybe get that kind of respect. Respect is a very big word, but at least get people to listen to them. So a lot of that learnings could be then twisted around and used it in our own business.
Fantastic. That's very nice. एक बहुत बढ़िया example था ये. मतलब I could actually go and feel that when you go down working, तो क्या होगा कि तुम्हारे सबके सब they are all working with you, and then they see you with a little different eye. They don't see you as a boss. They see you as a team player. They see you as a part of the gang. So that's a very good thing. Fantastic, Yash. Brilliant example. So on the similar lines, there's something that just struck me. On a similar line that just struck me. You already have a business. The business was doing good. then what triggered to come up with this new initiative or the new thing that you have come up with, the patent that you are talking about? कुछ तो कारण होगा, कोई तो ड्राइवर होगा कि ये नई चीज क्यों बनाई जाए. मतलब everything is going good, right? And today most of the family businesses you find that कुछ to some extent they get satisfied. Ah, everything is going good, fine, shanti hai. But something you do, then obviously when you do something, you're going to pass through a, what you can say, a change. You are going to pass through a mechanism of upheaval. Okay, थोड़ा ups and downs आनेगा, थोड़ा shaky ground हो जाएगा. तो उस चीज को भी तुमने एक्सेप्ट किया कि ठीक है जो भी चले जाएगी देख लेंगे, बट वी वांट टू डू समथिंग. What was the trigger point to do this new thing? Explain.
Right. I'll actually go back to one of the experiences during the program. We are supposed to make a business plan, okay, of how our business would pan out in next 5 years. And I had made this in 2015, and I think this would be the right time because we are sitting in 2020. So it's exactly 5 years to see exactly how my business plan has panned out. And if you remember, I had presented it to you, and I had met you once even before I was even before I was making it, when I was making the skeleton of it. And at that time, if my turnover or the business which I was doing was say rupees 5, you said one thing which actually struck me in the heart. You said that बेटा अगर तेरे को 10% ही ईयर ऑन ईयर इसके ऊपर एडिशन करना है, so तेरे को ये प्रोग्राम करना ही नहीं चाहिए था. The reason why you have invested your time, the reason why you have invested your family's money is because you should be able to make 5 into 50. Even if you don't make it by the end of the 5 years, that is okay, but you would have reached at least somewhere in between. And I will not be lying if I say that my business plan has changed 50 times in last 5 years, but I am at least on the way to reach somewhere. So one thing which I learned, or one thing which I saw, was the scalability. For a fish, the aquarium is an ocean. So if I would have gone, I would be doing well if I would have gone, if I have not done this program. But when I see the kind of scale in which others are working, the kind of scale in which the case studies which are presented, sometimes you feel that, like, you whatever you're thinking is too small. So that was definitely one thing for starting out 20 new things at once. 15 of them failed, 5 of them have done incredibly well. So we are trying to improve on the 5 things which we had presented in the business plan. Obviously the structure of everything has changed, but in essence has been what I had presented in the business plan. Talking about why would I try to do something new, is also, अगर हम लोग एक चीज से content हो गए हैं, what my father has done over the years, we see the margin shrinking. So the reason for trying something new is to find a niche, to make something. We are not someone, like, again repeat, we're not someone who's looking for valuation. We have to look for profitability. It's our own father's money, it's our own money, it's our own house which is there. So one thing which we learned in our finance classes also was that how do you see which are the 5 things, or which are the 5 product lines which are yielding you the most profit, and how do you build up on those. So those were the reason why he started only focusing on those product lines and seeing how we can process it further, how we can forward integrate.
Okay. Yes, slightly on the social side, I would like to ask a question. The social side is, you are the youngest chairperson of Indian Foundrymen Association. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sorry.
No problem. तो मुझे एक बात बताओ कि when I came to that event also, I saw you there with so many so-called elderly people. Okay.
Right.
तो एक youngster होके, when you've gone out to meet and be a part of this association, और फिर उसमें वो आप आगे भी आते हो as a chairperson and all that, what type of people challenges did you face? People challenges. And in that, how did learning or education help you in that?
Right. So I had been a part of the institute even when I was a part of the program. And a lot of times whatever I used to speak there, was almost cut, copy, paste of what I used to learn from the program. So a lot of times, the veterans there used to think that, yeah, he makes some sense. He has a different point of view. Obviously, I would add on my own points, but a lot of things was what was new to them. A institute, a hardcore technology institute, has veterans who have a lot of knowledge, but they also, since it's a very close circle, I would say that they also carry a bit of ego. So if you go as a youngster and say this is the way things has to be done, or we'll try to bring in a change, that doesn't help. But what we learned during the program in leadership is the soft skill which you develop. What we learned during the program is in negotiation, is not just negotiating with suppliers or with customers. It's also negotiating on a day-to-day basis with employees, with people from your network, your competitors, the biggest of the biggest consultants in your own industry. How do you understand, how do you listen 20 things from them, and then inculcate it in a way, speak to them in, tell them one thing which you have learned through the program or outside the program, which you would make a difference to the institute. And ultimately I used to do a lot of R&D also. Because I was filing patent, I used to speak to a lot of engineers. I used to lecture at a couple of engineering colleges. So that's something wherein I was working on a very grassroots level, which helped me become the chairman for such a prestigious institute.
Correct, I agree. But
Right.
still, you have dealt with people of your earlier age, elder age, and all that.
Much
So
elder.
obviously, the soft skill has played a role. Your knowledge has also played a role. At this point of time, I can also understand that when you file this patent, तो उससे भी तुम्हारा एक लोगों को देखने का नजरिया बदला कि भाई okay, यश में कुछ metal है, therefore they must have allowed you to be not this. So fantastic, good point, Yash. Yash, maybe last two more questions, but I am tempted to ask. And you
Okay.
have no choice but to say yes.
Your smile is actually scaring me, sir.
Correct. It should. तुमको मालूम है कि जब भी ये स्माइल आती है तो कुछ दोल तो होने वाला है. तो बेटा ये तो मुझे पता है कि तुम्हारा जो इन-लॉज फैमिली है, जो तुम्हारा इन-लॉज फैमिली है, वो भी इसी प्रोग्राम से ऑफशूट है.
Right.
So now you have to share those insights or those interactions, or what you can say, the learnings with how your interaction with your in-laws families helps you. क्या कि एक अलग 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 अप्रोच होता है वहां पे, यहाँ पे एक अलग अप्रोच होता है, वहां पे बात करने का एक अलग अप्रोच होता है, तरीका अलग होता है, अप्रोच डिफरेंट होता है. तो how did that help you? And I'm sure that two communities also different, and that's how you have different ways of looking at a lot of things, right? Festival se leke har ek cheez mein. Okay.
Right.
So can you just throw some light on that?
In fact, for people who don't know, my wife, Anisha Agarwal, sir student, my classmate, is also part of this webinar right now. So yeah, I met her during the course of the program, and a lot of things, in fact, happened much at a much later stage, much after the program. But I have been seeing her mentor. I have been seeing her along, because we had a very close knit group. Like I said, there's a lot of peer to peer learning which is happening. So we are aware of how the person is in the business and otherwise also in personal life. So how it helps is that obviously now I would be liberal to say, instead of having one mentor, I have two mentors thanks to this
Yeah.
program. But
दो मेंटर है तो सवाल भी ज्यादा होते होंगे बच्चा, ये भी तो याद रखना जरूरी है.
right, right.
Okay, I knew that tongue tied ho jayega when I'm going to ask you this question. But no, the idea is, let's not talk about the business side. I'm still more
Right.
concerned about the social dynamics. Okay,
Right.
ये क्या होता है कि you have to balance both the families.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
expectations होते हैं because they're a youngster, like all those things. एक expectation होते हैं. So how do you meet across these expectations? या उनसे जब वार्तालाप करते हो या उनसे interact करते हो, so how is that interaction? That there's something. Can you throw some light on that?
For a business family, I think most of the panelists come from, most of the attendees come from family marriage business. The most of the topic starts and it ends at the business. So even if it's not about about your business, it could be some other business, or whatever learnings are there from the other companies which could be implemented. So in terms of understanding various businesses, in terms of understanding, my wife comes from a logistic background, so not just my steel business, logistics, plastics, textile, every peer which we interact with widens your horizon as well. Like, a lot of things which are not written in the textbook, a lot of things which are a part and parcel of the business, which are passed orally, not even written in any management or family managed textbook as well, is something which you get to know. So when you interact with the mentor of
Yes,
when I
sorry.
yeah,
Yes, sorry.
yeah,
Sorry. For all the viewers, all
right,
the listeners, यश ने एक बाउंड्री के बाद सिक्स मार दिया है. ये वो सिक्स है जो मतलब वो अभी मैच में हुआ था ना, मेन रोड पे बॉल चला गया वैसा सिक्स मारा है. द रीजन इज ही हैज मेट अ वेरी गुड पॉइंट कि जब आप लर्निंग का एटीट्यूड रखते हो तो बहुत सारी जगहों पे थिंग्स आर नॉट इट्स नॉट रिटन एनीवेयर, नॉट इन एनी बुक. ये मैनेजमेंट या इंजीनियरिंग बुक में लिखी नहीं गई, but from the tacit knowledge of the
right,
mentor, by the virtue of their experience, by virtue of their interactions with other people, they tend to pass it on to the next generation. जितना नेक्स्ट जनरेशन अपना ये दिमाग खुला रखेगा उतना ही ये ग्रास्प कर पाएगा. यस, फैंटास्टिक पॉइंट बेटा. आई एम वेरी हैप्पी, वेरी हैप्पी, सुपर. उसका एक और भी पॉइंट है कि दिस इज वेयर परहैप्स a student mindset continues for a longer time. Would you agree with that statement, Yash?
absolutely, learning happens.
Yeah. So student mindset continues for a longer time. And जब तक ये student mindset रहेगा, आपका learning के तरफ aptitude बना रहेगा. So fantastic point, Yash. That takes me to perhaps the last question. And that is on this scale. What do you want to say to the people, I mean the younger generation, who are contemplating कि हाँ मुझे बिजनेस करना चाहिए कि नहीं करना चाहिए, मुझे बिजनेस में ज्वाइन होना चाहिए कि नहीं होना चाहिए. ओके, लाइक आज सुबह मैं एक जन को मिला, मैं उनको मिला एंड ही विथ वेरी ग्रेट प्राइड सेड कि मैंने मेरे बेटे को तो फॉरेन भेज दिया. दैट्स ओके, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. व्हाट नेक्स्ट? नहीं, मैं चाहता ही नहीं वापिस आए. दिस इज वेयर कि ये एक फादर का भी विचार हो सकता है, ये एक बच्चे का भी विचार हो सकता है, दोनों का विचार हो सकता है. ओके, कोई बच्चा आके बोलता है कि नहीं मुझे मेरे पापा के बिजनेस में ज्वाइन करना है, ये बहुत पुराना टाइप का बिजनेस. क्या, अरे पुराना टाइप का तुम्हारा बिजनेस देखो, इट्स एक्चुअली वेरी ओल्ड ट्रेडिशनल टाइप ऑफ बिजनेस, पर कुछ नया कर पाए ना. तो व्हाट इज योर मैसेज टू दिस यंगर जनरेशन, प्लीज?
There is this one saying,
You have
very,
to be, you have to give the message to both the younger generation as well as the elder. दोनों को ध्यान में रख के तुमको मैसेज बताने का है, ये सोच के.
so there is this one saying, हमारे घर में बोली जाती है, सबने सुनी होगी शायद कभी, कि आप एक बंगलो में you would want to be a servant or you would want to be a owner of your 2 BHK. How do you see yourself? The sense of ownership is not, आप सब कुछ पढ़ा सकते हो, but the sense of ownership is not something which you can teach someone. So if you are a owner from your like, it's an inbuilt characteristic, you would want to take any damn business. It could be something as small as maybe a shoe shop and make it into a brand. For me also, the foundry business is a very old business. It's a very, we call it the 3 Ds of foundry: dirty, dangerous, and difficult. Like,
क्या फिर बोलो.
Like, you have 4 P's of marketing and management. We have coined a term for foundry for youngsters who do not want to enter our business. It's called 3 Ds of foundry: dirty, dangerous, and difficult. There's a lot of smoke and sweat. It's very dirty. There's sand everywhere. If you've ever seen a steel plant, it's very difficult to even attract new talent. There are not many mechanical engineers or educated metallurgists out there right now. And it's dangerous also. They're like, you're working at extremely high temperatures, between 1500 to 1800 degrees Celsius. So a lot of people, even workers, would take a job in a mall or maybe in a This thing, they will not come even if you're paying 3 times more than what the market rate is. But when you have that owner mindset, you always find a way. When I started, I was selling a commodity item called cast iron for 70 rupees per kg. A lot of my, I knew one more friend, a family friend, who had a much bigger foundry than us, selling cast iron for almost the same price. Like, यार राजकोट से बहुत रेट तोड़ते हैं. हेलो, कैन यू हियर मी? या, वो लोग बोलते हैं कि राजकोट से बहुत रेट तोड़ते हैं. गुजरात ने या कोल्हापुर ने या लाइक ग्रास इज ऑलवेज ग्रीन ऑन द अदर साइड. लेकिन मजा नहीं है आजकल काम करने में. I won't be blowing my own trumpet, but I'm proud of one thing, that at least I was able to take a commodity business, and through the last 5 years, through this education, through my own understanding, I was able to find a niche. And in that niche, I was able to balance out everything: the profitability of the company, the vision which I had seen 5 years ago while making and presenting the business plan, and also a better lifestyle. Like, this is, had I been sitting 5 years ago and thinking कि ये commodity business करके मतलब I'm an educated person, I would get at least 5 times more salary than what I could even think of making. But this has led, one thing leads to the other. A lot of times when I have seen very good business when they have taken loans, they have started a plant without any business plan. वो लोग बोलते हैं कि करते करते आ जाता है. So there's a lot of tacit knowledge after a point, like you rightly said, which leads you on to one thing to the other.
Yeah, but no. So what would be your message to the younger generation? I understand कि bungalow and servant या फिर owner of a 2 BHK, but
Right.
anything direct you would like to share with them?
Can I narrate an incident of what happened with me
Please.
during COVID?
Yes.
So I have mentioned it to you. During COVID, most of the plants were banned, were closed, and what we saw is that a spike in tariff in US and UK for Chinese products, commodity steel, stainless steel. And had I been previously looking at this, hello. Hello. Yeah. Had I been previously looking at this, I would have forego this information. But what I realized is that we and China had a 8% difference in our commodity prices for steel, forgings, castings, everything. 8 to 10%. It varies from part to part. If we are now like 8% more expensive than them, and they have a tariff of 20%, we have a leeway. So I used all my network contacts and I got in touch with two automobile companies, John Deere and Volvo, because I've got their orders now. I'm on a platform wherein I can confidently say it. They're massive companies, and they wanted to explore India, at least build a second line of manufacturing here. And I was able to pitch to them that, see, India is a very cluttered market. It's not like China, wherein you would find a single stop. You go to Guangzhou, you'll find everything relating to electronics. We could act as a sourcing person. This is not something which I would have done before. But being a part of the innovation class, I was able to look beyond my own horizon and find a business. Doesn't take a lot. Like, now we have started a complete offshoot, which is a sourcing division, engineering sourcing division, wherein we have got a good quantum of business, 5 times our turnover. Obviously, the margins are lesser because it's a sourcing business, but obviously we've reached a scale. Right now we have very good projections from the customers, written orders in hand, and this was something which was a part of the program which helped me look beyond my own horizon. So this is something which my key takeaway would be from this program, which I would like to share with the youngsters, my peers and elders. What I learned was to look beyond your business to see how you can add value. Value addition is the key. It will obviously lead to profitability and scalability.
Okay. Guys, इसका एक लाइन है जो आपको शायद मे बी इन हिज टॉक जो नोटिस नहीं हुआ होगा. फॉर सम ऑफ यू माइट हैव जस्ट मिस्ड आउट. द लाइन इज that in the COVID times, which was you could say everybody was shut down and that lockdown period, he tried to do something. He found a way. Now the question is that because this is your own business, you are trying to find out different ways in order to, you can say, sustain and at the same time also perhaps grow your business. this approach of doing something new, this approach or this opportunity of doing something new and experimenting it for the greater good of our own self and the business. Perhaps you can get a chance only and only in your family business. Okay. So, Yash, that's wonderful of sharing your insights. It's brilliant. I sincerely appreciate the time that you have devoted for this event. I sincerely appreciate your thoughts. I sincerely appreciate your contribution to your own family business. I sincerely appreciate कि तुमने जो जिस तरह से अपने फैमिली बिजनेस को जिस ऊंचाई पे लेके गए हो और आगे ले जाने की क्या कहते हैं ऐसे मन में इच्छा रखते हो. आई विश यू कंप्लीटली अ ब्रिलियंट ऑल द बेस्ट एंड मे गॉड ब्लेस यू टू डू मोर एंड मोर. And let your entire Singh family be very proud of you. Let your in-laws, Agrawal family, be very proud of you. And may you become an example for a lot of people. With all those wishes, wish you all the best. Yash, God bless you. And once again, it was great having you here with us. God bless you, Beta.
Thank you, sir. It's always a pleasure to come back to SP Jain. Thank you.
Okay.